This is Glow in the Dark Radio. The science fiction podcast with original independent science fiction written and performed by Mike Luoma, with music by Kevin MacLeod. The Vatican Assassin Trilogy and The Adventures of Alibi Jones by Mike Luoma are available in ebook, trade paperback, and audiobook wherever you find your books online. Get links and details at glowinthedarkradio.com. This is the science fiction podcast, Glow in the Dark Radio. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma, and I have Chapter 17 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her on this episode. And it's a little bit on the short side, so I'll spend a little bit more time setting up our situation before we get into it. Alibi Jones just met the brother of his former friend, Kit, the Dakhur, whose joining ceremony, the wedding ceremony, was raided by thugs working for the crime lord Lavalor, who were there to kidnap Alibi's date, Katie Ramsey. Now, even though Kit escaped unharmed, his bride was killed. The ancient Dakhur relic, the Sunrise of Her, disappeared. And the Dakhur all seemed to blame Alibi Jones for bringing the situation down on them, even though the Dakhur held the party on one of Lavalor's stations. They didn't know it was, but it turned out to be. And even though they invited Katie and Alibi. And Katie was kidnapped. She's still being held by Lavalor on his planet Kismet. And Lavalor's right-hand man, Peterson, warned Alibi Jones to stay off of Kismet, or he's a dead man. But just in the last chapter or so, Kit's brother Kat came to Ceres Central to see Alibi's Aunt Anita because his father, the Chief Diplomat Rakhar, is now unable to leave their planet. He can't leave her now that the Greater Ta have taken over. And Kat told them that Kit has gone missing, and they fear he's gone to Kismet to try to kill Lavalor. So Alibi's Aunt Anita has tasked Alibi with traveling to her and talking to Rakhar, and with trying to help get Kit back, even if it means going to where he's definitely not wanted. So we're going to head to her with Alibi Jones in Chapter 17 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her, coming up on this episode of Glow in the Dark Radio. In book news, I posted a video last week for the Always Punch Nazis Omnibus, which has now arrived. It is beautiful, too. Beautiful black hardcover, gold embossed cover, and it's got Alibi Jones, the legacy, right in there. Myself, writer and letterer, and Juan Carlos Quatordio, the artist. And the Omnibus collects Always Punch Nazis Volumes 1, 2, and 3. We were in Volume 2. If you want to see that unboxing, just head to the Substack. That's glowinthedarkradio.substack.com. And you can actually still buy a copy of the hardcover if you'd like to get one. It's $50. Proceeds go to charity. We all did this for charity, so. The place to go for that is the Etsy shop for Pilot Studios, who's the publisher, my friend Ben Ferrari. So that is etsy.com/shop/Pilot Studios. And I'll put that link in the show notes. But it is a really nice book. Well done. Beautiful job, Ben. Much appreciated. Also much appreciated, the support of patrons. Thank you, patrons. Thank you if you are a patron. I have several who help to keep the show going, help pay the bills, because they just keep coming. And if you want to do that, if you'd like to volunteer to help keep the show going, you can do that through Patreon. Patreon. You can head to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio and sign up as a member for $2, $5, or $10 a month and help support the podcast. And get bonus stuff too, like early episodes. This episode is out early to patrons. That could be you. And if it already is you, thank you. You know. And that is all for book news. We're going to get into the somewhat short Chapter 17 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her, next on Glow in the Dark Radio.
Hi, I'm JC. My co-host Cindy and I host the Fix It Home Improvement Podcast. We cover projects that every homeowner should know and top-rated products for home and garden. And for fans of Mike, we keep you posted on new smart home systems and products like robot vacuums and robot lawnmowers that seemed like science fiction not too long ago. You can check it out on your favorite podcast app. It's Fix It, F-I-X-I-T, Home Improvement.
Now here's Chapter 17 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her on Glow in the Dark Radio. Alibi tracks down Brady Thomas, still in port on Ceres Central. Thomas is ready and willing to take him to Dakhur for a slightly larger than normal fee, one still within Anita's limit, and so Alibi finds his ride back to the Cat People's planet. When they arrive in Dakhur space, they find both Dakhur ships and ships of the Greater Ta in orbit around her. Her central control is much more accommodating when Alibi calls in for landing clearance. Brady Thomas stays with the ship when Alibi is escorted into the main city. After being given a chance to settle into guest quarters and enjoy a meal, Alibi is escorted to see Rakhar. Overall, Alibi's welcome is warmer this time. The Dakhur seem to be going out of their way to make Alibi feel more comfortable, especially when one of the Greater Ta is around. The reptilian race are present, not in overwhelming numbers, but sufficient enough to be evident throughout the main city. The Dakhur seem to enjoy annoying the Greater Ta by being overly nice to Alibi. I don't really care why they're being so nice. Just going to enjoy it. Rakhar, good to see you again. Alibi greets the older Dakhur. Thank you for your hospitality.
You are welcome, Alibi Jones. Your Aunt Anita made the arrangements. We are being hospitable for her sake, Rakhar warns him, and to annoy the Greater Ta.
Alibi looks surprised.
You did not think this was all for your sake, did you? Rakhar asks.
No, not at all. I know better, Rakhar. That's not what stunned me, Alibi tells the alien. Just surprised to hear you speak so openly about annoying the Greater Ta.
I do not care if they hear it, Rakhar says,
with some bravado.
But this room is shielded, so they will not.
Ah.
So, you met with Katrafundlegrundler when he came to Ceres Central?
Yes, he said you would have come. Aunt Anita thought that sounded strange. She wanted me to visit you and make sure you were all right.
I am all right, although I am not allowed to leave the planet for the time being, Rakhar explains.
Allowed? By who? Them, the Greater Ta?
Of course. They say they expect me to remain planet-side and maintain order, Rakhar tells Alibi. They tell me I may leave if there is an emergency that requires my personal attention.
Alibi's attention is suddenly drawn to the door to the spacious room by a commotion. Cat emerges through the doorway into the room.
I think we may have just such an emergency, Cat growls. Katrafundlegrundler has been arrested and thrown in a cell on Kismet. They say he was there to kill Lavalur. He's been sentenced to execution. What? Rakhar and Alibi ask in unison. Rakhar glares at Alibi. I do hope you have not cost me my son, he warns Alibi. Rakhar turns to Kat. That settles it. I will personally lead a delegation to Kismet. I'll go with you, Rakhar, Alibi says, but I'll need a disguise. That seems useless and overly complicated. Why should we bring you, disguised or otherwise, with us to Kismet? I have a stake in this. You know that, Rakhar. Alibi finds himself pleading to go to a planet where he's supposedly a dead man. Come on, Rakhar. I'll be an asset. You help me get in, and I'll get Kit out. You can conduct negotiations while I work behind the scenes to get your son out of there. The Catman considers his pleas. Come on, Rakhar. At least, Alibi thinks his furry facial expression means Rakhar is thinking. Another thought occurs to Alibi. The guy I came with, well, he's kind of a shady character, Alibi says. He could help us too. I think he knows Kismet pretty well. But he'll need to be paid. I will give you a monetary award if you rescue Kit, Rakhar says. You can give it to him if you like. Does that mean you're taking me with you? Alibi has to ask. Yes. The bounty hunter has his own ship, Alibi informs Rakhar. He'll probably want to go on his own. We need to have a coherent plan, Rakhar says. Lavalor is a smart man. It will not be easy to do something on Kismet that he doesn't want us to do. Let's make some plans then, Alibi responds. Alibi fills Brady Thomas in later. Kismet? Been there a bunch of times, kid, Brady Thomas tells Alibi. Alibi tells Thomas he's giving Thomas the reward money for getting Kid out. So wait, I only get paid if we get that Dakhur out of there? Well, yeah, isn't that how it usually works? You get paid when you finish the job. That's when you collect your bounty, right? Sometimes there's a little up front, the man says, but without a great deal of conviction. As far as Kismet goes, the only guarantee I've gotten wasn't real positive, Alibi says. I'm supposed to be a dead man if I set foot on the planet. Who told you that? Thomas asks. Peterson. Oh, and you're still going. Lavalor has 2 of my friends there now, Alibi says. He thinks he owns one, and he plans to kill the other. So yeah, I'm still going. Alrighty then, the older man says. I'm in. Brady Thomas agrees to make his way to Kismet ahead of the Dakhur delegation, in order to avoid looking suspicious. He'll land and try to find out where Katie is, and where Kit is being held, and report back when the Dakhur delegation arrives. Alibi hopes they can take action once he lands on Kismet.
That was Chapter 17 of Alibi Jones and the Sunrise of Her on Glow in the Dark Radio. Well, even though the Dakhur still unreasonably blame Alibi Jones for the raid on the joining ceremony, they've agreed to work with him on a mission to Kismet to free Kit, and maybe Katie too. So even though he's been told he's a dead man if he goes there, Alibi is about to head to Kismet, and we'll go too. We'll join Alibi Jones as he heads to Kismet on our next episode. Again, just to recap on book news, the Always Punch Nazis Omnibus is here. Beautiful black hardcover book collecting volumes 1, 2, and 3. And I've posted an unboxing video at glowinthedarkradio.substack.com. And if you want to get a copy, you can still do so for $50 at the Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/pilotstudios. And many thanks to patrons for keeping the show going. And if you want to learn more, just head to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. And that is all for this time. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma. Thank you again for listening to Glow in the Dark Radio. Glow in the Dark Radio. This podcast presentation is copyright 2025 by Michael F. Luoma and is protected under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 International License, CC by NC-ND 4.0. Music by Kevin MacLeod. You can find his work at Incompetech.com. Mike's books are available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook, wherever you find books online. Get links and more details at glowinthedarkradio.com and mikeluoma.com. This has been a presentation of Glow in the Dark Radio.